Pods allow us to do a lot of creative things. In this design, I have a simulated jet engine nacelle hanging from the bottom of a wing. And I'll show you how to do this in this video. Okay, so already in my design I have taken the wings and split them into two sides. Here is the engine pod on one wing, and I'll show you how to do that by doing the other wing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a pod. And this brings up our pod screen, and we're going to put it on this wing right here. So we'll call this, I forget what this was the wing pod number 2. And that's our name. Okay, and right now it's on the bottom of the rocket, and let me go a side view. And to this pod we're going to first attach a fin. And there's our wing pod, and we're going to attach a fin to this. And I already know the dimensions since I already did one, and we'll call this the engine strut, and the root chord is 1.5, tip chord is 1.5, sweep length is a negative 0.5, and the semi-span is 0.5 inches, and it is 0.125 inches thick. So right now it's right there, and we'll adjust the radial position, and we're going to make it 90 degrees, and that's right down there. Okay, let's zoom in so you can see that. So right now it attached right here to the tip, and we're going to say okay. Let me zoom original. Okay, so there it is, and we'll say okay. So right now it is right there, so we need to move it back, and then we need to move it in, and that moving it in is what we haven't done yet in this video series. So we'll go back to this wing pod, and we're going to click edit, and here it is right here, and you can see it back over here, and I already know the location fore and aft since I've already done the other side, and so I'll match it. It's 2.9. Okay, and you can see that moved it back. And now I need to move it inward, and to do that we'll click on the radial position tab, and right now it's these two check boxes are checked, and we're going to uncheck both of them, and then we can adjust the radial position. As you see, as I change the radial position, it moves in and out, and I already know that distance. It should be that to match this side over here. Alright, so now our pod is right there, and now it's just a matter of attaching a tube to that pod. And when I select the fin, I can't add a tube directly, but I can add a pod and then attach the tube to the pod. So I'll call this engine pod. And we'll click OK, and find that in our parts tree right there, and now we'll just add the tube, and I know it's an 18mm tube, so there it is. It stuck it right there, and the only thing that we need to change is the overall length, and I know that length should be 1.5 inches. Okay, in 3D. The only thing that's different here is the location. This one's further back, And to adjust that location, we need to go to the actual pod that it's attached to. Okay, so that's the pod. We'll edit that pod. And it's going to be negative 0.5 inches. So there it is. And let's make this bigger so you can see now we're done. All right. And that's how you do that. And you can get really creative by using pods attached to outside parts and the radial position in the pod location.